Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to another episode of Ramadan with the Mandem. On today's episode, first and foremost, I want to apologize for the quality of the audio on the previous two. I didn't have a shock mount, but alhamdulillah, I now have a shock mount, which we'll get to towards the end of the video. In today's episode, we are joined by a very special brother. Most of you guys probably won't know this brother because if I'm not mistaken, this is your cameo online appearance, which is shocking because he's been around for a minute and he's actually a very, very interesting brother, as you guys will find out as we get into the episode. But before we do you guys want to just give salam to the people?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, the tradition of how we start these episodes is, do you have a nickname? Everyone seems to have a nickname, and some people drop the nickname on this show. So, do you have a nickname?
I actually don't. I don't have one. If you wish.
What do you reckon? Abu MMA?
Yeah, it's called a Muay Thai man.
Muay Thai. Abu Muay Thai. Yeah? Put that on the thumbnail. So,
thrown it out there already. You've thrown it out there already.
No, I like Muay Thai man.
Muay Thai man.
Muay Thai man.
I mean, you've dropped that one, man, for yourself. Love for your brother, you love for yourself, innit?
Call it Triple M.
Huh?
We call it Triple M. Muay Thai.
Triple M?
No, Triple M. MTM, sorry.
Oh, Triple M.
No, MTM. Muay Thai man.
Let's get into the episode. So, Ryan, first question. When was the first time in your life that you came into contact with our da'wah in any way, shape or form? Whether it's an online video that you saw or YouTube.
Ooh.
When was the first video you ever saw in your life that you can remember of our da'wah?
This was going back a few years now. It's when Ustad Imran, you were outside the Shisha Cafe a number of years ago. I saw it online because that video was spreading quite a lot. I remember seeing it. So that's when I first came in contact. Is that video. Then me and you met, actually. I haven't told you this.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it's a number of years ago.
Roughly?
Good 6-7 years,
Wow.
I think.
Yeah,
or 8 years ago. This was before I was even practicing per se.
It came out 8 years ago, the video.
Yeah. It was around that time.
So when did we meet? You said we met?
This, again, I was at 14 or 15. This was in Southall. One of the years, I think Pakistan won some cricket cup. And me and my brother.
T20 World Cup,
yeah, that one.
What, at night?
At night.
Oh, wow,
me, my brother, and one of my friends, my neighbour, we live next door to each other. We were in Southall, we went creams after Tarawih. And you were there telling everyone to go home. I remember it.
Yeah, I remember.
And my brother said to you at the time, my
You
brother.
don't even know about that, do you?
No, I mean, bro, I was on Green Street myself.
No. This. I think there's a time. Oh,
I'm talking about 2000 and
this
12.
is not. No,
No, not
this is not that
2012.
long ago.
No, this was 2016 or something.
You was about. Yeah, you was about. 100% you was about this time.
I was not on Green Street and I was not getting a fireworks. Just to clarify, I'm talking about when Pakistan beat Sri Lanka.
No,
not that one. Not that
Against
one.
India.
Yeah, that's the
During
one.
Ramadan,
That's
the
the one.
last 10 nights.
Yes.
Oh. Wait, was I there?
No, you weren't there.
No, it's just
I
a
actually
start.
didn't even tell anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually did. It was literally.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the one where we went Chandrat. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
This is
No.
not Chandrat.
This was It was Ramadan.
Mm.
Last 10 nights. And I was with Faisal Qarni in a Felton masjid. They used to hire out a place to do Tarawih. He was like, Akhi, apparently.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We need to get Faisal Qarni on the episode.
Yeah, he's not in the country anymore.
Oh, because I realized his name's been mentioned like 3 or 4 times on his episode.
Oh, he definitely needs to be in here. Maybe we get him on a Zoom.
Maybe.
But basically, cut long story short, that's something that. Wow. So I spoke to you that day.
Well, we briefly spoke because you said to my brother, go home. But my brother was like, we're only here for ice cream. That's all we were doing there.
Remember that?
We were only there for
And
ice cream.
There was a couple aunties that were like, say get it.
Yeah.
Right,
This was you know in Southall you have the little middle bit.
Yeah.
The little, because you got 2 roads here, one going that way, one coming this way.
Yeah.
It was right in the middle because we were crossing and you were telling us to go home. My brother was like, we're only here for ice cream. We're not here doing nothing because there were cars there and everything, revving and everything, but we weren't really interested in it at the time. We were just looking at it.
Just so people understand,
I resisted cars revving.
Yeah, well, my brother didn't because he loves cars. He loves staring at them. But I wasn't into him at the time.
just so people think we're not trying to kill people's fun. My point was that it was an odd night
Yeah.
in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and people were out partying on the streets. So
Music and free mixing.
Yeah.
Haram.
yeah,
Sins.
so my thing was, brothers were like I'm Pakistani like the next man is, bro, this is Ramadan though. This could be the night Allah frees your neck from the hellfire. But yeah, I didn't even tell anyone that.
Yeah.
Shocking.
So I, when it happened, me and my brother went home and we're like, did we really just see him? Because we, at the time, we only saw online videos and people talking X, people talking Y, like just people saying whatever they say about everyone else, right? We had no knowledge in that set at that time. We had, even now, barely any knowledge, but at the time, it was like lowest of the low, right? So that's when we first met.
So you were 14 then?
So roughly.
Muay Thai man in training.
Roughly. That's when I started boxing, actually. That's when I started boxing, similar time.
So, what happened next in terms of your journey through our da'wah?
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, I'm interrupting the podcast again. I know you were probably really enjoying yourself getting into the conversation, but I have something very important to talk to you about. It's only going to take 1 minute. So please, just listen to me, inshallah ta'ala. Guys, as you know, we do da'wah, and this da'wah that we do, it's not that watered down stuff. It's the stuff that actually really teaches people what the religion is. And as you can see, it helps people. You've been seeing on this Ramadan with the Mandem podcast series that people are actually impacted by these things. Now, in order to put more content out, to reach more people, we need a bigger team, we need more equipment, we need more staff. All of that stuff comes with money. So we're fundraising right now this Ramadan to be able to have more funds, to be able to produce more so we can reach more people over next year, inshallah ta'ala. So if you guys would like to be a part of this da'wah that we do by contributing at the link below, that means that inshallah ta'ala you can participate in the reward of all that comes from this. So click the link below and make a donation ASAP. In fact, make a donation before you go back to watching the rest of the podcast. Assalamu alaikum.
From then, nothing at all.
For how long?
Until 2018.
Okay.
So this is going back now 4 years, well, 3.5 years, because it was towards the end of 2018. And at the time I was going through a little rough patch with health. There was something which happened which I didn't tell anyone. My mom and dad didn't know ever. My sister didn't know. My family didn't know. I went to the doctors about it, came back, and I said to myself, all I have to do is just go to Umrah. That's what I decided. So I booked my ticket the same night. Then I told my mom and dad the next day that I'm going to Umrah. They were just like, where's this coming from? It's random. Should we go as a family, etc.? I just want to go. And I have an uncle who lives in Saudi.
Okay.
He lives in Riyadh, right? My aunt's husband. So he came down to pick me up from Jeddah. And we went to Mecca together. We spent 5 nights there.
I love that.
Then we went to Medina together. We spent 5 nights there.
I
So just me and him. He was showing me around, showing me how to do Umrah, etc.
MashaAllah.
And even at the time, I didn't know how to do Umrah properly. So
Okay.
he taught me while I was there.
MashaAllah.
Like, he was telling me everything. And before I flew out, he called me as well. He said that you have to do this before you get there.
MashaAllah.
You have to put ihram at this time. And
MashaAllah.
make sure you pray 2 rakahs, etc., etc. He told me everything I had to do at the time. So I spent 10 nights there. And at the time, I was like, this is what life is.
MashaAllah.
Because I was disconnected from work. I was disconnected from all my friends. I was disconnected from everyone. I didn't speak to anyone apart from my mum, dad, siblings, and my nanny. Apart from them, I didn't really speak to anyone at the time.
Okay.
And I was
Not
like,
even your maternal grandma.
Naam,
Yeah.
naam. And yeah, I realized some people might not know what that means. Yeah, my maternal grandma.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that Umrah trip, I came back and I had a sense.
But just a disclaimer, you hit Umrah trip, you went by yourself, you didn't go with...
Naam, on my own.
I think you went
Yeah,
with
and just on my own.
also group, as in-
Yeah, no, it wasn't with.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was on my own. Yeah, I met Ustad before, but not in terms of the da'wah. This was just I went on my own. It was in November as well. I actually ended up meeting the brother from Bukhari TV there as well.
Adam.
Not Adam.
Guled.
Naam. I met Guled there. And this was we were on Mount Uhud, and there was a brother. He came from Canada. Ishaq Mustaqim. He's a Riva brother. Yeah.
We were there at that time.
Were you?
We were actually there on that trip.
Subhanallah.
Don't-
Yeah, 2018 November.
The Riva brother with the
Came
tats.
to Mecca.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he actually came
And he gave a reminder for the brothers.
to us that trip.
So wait, you guys were there on
2018?
Umrah with the Mandem?
Yeah.
Part 2.
I didn't even tell you. It was
Subhanallah.
November, right?
Yeah, it was November.
We were there. We were there.
Oh, قدر الله ما شاء حال. What coincidence? Because I was there on my own,
Yeah.
and just me and my uncle, and I saw them there. And the only reason I approached them was because they were speaking English. I had no idea who they were. I didn't know it was Bukhari TV. I had no idea until I got back. One of my friends said to me, "You on Instagram?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And he showed me a picture that Bukhari TV uploaded, and I was just happened to be in the background of it. Like I was speaking to Ishaq at the time,
Okay, Allah.
and I was like, then I saw Bukhari TV. That's when I got in. Like, okay, cool. What's going on Instagram, etc., etc.
okay, mashallah.
And at the time, I was working in Heathrow.
Okay.
And in Heathrow, anyone who works there or anyone who knows of Heathrow, there's a lot of fitna there,
Yeah.
especially if you're working there, right? Because with all the people flying in and out, etc. So I decided I don't want to work here anymore. I want to cut. A week after I got back from Umrah, a job I had applied to back in July I remember this is November, end of November. A job I applied to back in July. They called me. We want to bring you in for an interview. When that was an entry level IT position, and alhamdulillah I managed to get. They called me the next day. Said, "Yeah, you've got the job." So alhamdulillah I managed to leave Heathrow. And then I kind of struggled with myself for a little bit in terms of finding a teacher, finding Quran lessons, because my makhraj, tajweed, all over the place. It wasn't even there in the first place. So I was trying to find something, and this was 2018. The month before Ramadan 2019, this is going to link into a conversation I had with Suleiman, actually.
Okay.
Solo. Yeah, Solo for those who know him as Solo, but Suleiman. A month before Ramadan.
He's dropped his nickname as well.
He's dropped his all, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So a month before Ramadan, I had a dream that I was walking to Masjid Quba.
Okay.
And bear in mind, I hadn't been to Masjid Quba for like 5-6 years, just never entered it.
And it's local to you?
It's 10 minutes.
Oh, we're talking Masjid Quba in Hayes.
Yeah. Masjid Quba in
Saudi.
No. Now I'm back in London now. I'm back in London.
No, I thought in the dream.
No. Oh, okay. No, sorry. I should have clarified that. Yeah, Masjid Quba, my local masjid in Hayes. So the dream that I was walking there, and I went upstairs to the first floor, the imam, it was for Fajr Salah, and we all started praying. And while we were praying, just me and the imam were left. Everyone else just cut the Salah. Everyone left. Just me and the imam left. And one uncle came and he started digging a hole under my foot. But I didn't fall down into the ground. I just stayed there. And I was like, then I woke up. And when me and the imam finished the Salah, then I woke up and I was like, why did I dream about Masjid Quba? I was just questioning it. Why am I dreaming about this? Why, when I haven't been there for the past 5-6 years, why is it coming to me now? So that very same night, I decided to just go to the masjid, and I started loving Masjid Quba. Just started attending the salahs, etc. Then Ramadan kicked in. This was just a few weeks before Ramadan. Then Ramadan kicked in.
Which year?
2019. So just a few years ago. And then I saw my friend in the masjid, Amir. And I haven't seen him for years either. Me and him went to school together. And when we were little kids, we used to go to the same madrasa, right? But I haven't seen him for years now. And I've seen him now. Me and him are caught up. And he's like, oh, you know, Dar Salam, they're doing Qiyam al-Layl. And you know, in Ramadan, most masajid, they don't do Qiyam al-Layl for the first. Yes, exactly. So he's like, they're doing it. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, why not? Because I was very excited to continue doing this stuff, right? So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that same night, I picked him up, because I went home after Tarawih, picked him up for Qiyam. We went, and that's the night I met Solo, Suleiman. And he would have told you his story on it as well, where he was at work, and he just left.
Was that the same Ramadan? He started
practicing? No.
He started practicing the Ramadan before that?
Before that.
Okay.
But this is the Ramadan when...
you guys connected, you done an i'tikaf together.
No. This is the one after.
In February 2019.
The next year, yeah.
No, 2019.
2019.
It's that's it. Yeah.
Ramadan 2019.
Okay.
The very next Ramadan, yeah.
Okay.
And this is the Ramadan where me and Suleiman met, and I said to him, me and him sat down, he gave me a banana, and he goes, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I respect it. And this is little hilarious portion. Because then I asked him, like, what do you do for a living? Like, what do you do? And he's like, at that time, he just quit his job. So he wasn't answering the question. So I asked him again, like, what are you doing? He didn't answer again. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe he's a bit shy, he doesn't want to tell me, etc. So I didn't push it after that. Then we prayed. And I spoke to him after. I was like, because I was looking for a Quran teacher, and he was looking for a job. And then we exchanged numbers and we met up in Quba the next day. He found me a Quran teacher in the masjid. I helped him out finding a job, alhamdulillah, which he managed to get as well.
Oh, wow. So in the MSP, when Suleiman was talking about the brother who helped him get a job,
yes,
it was you.
Nah.
I bring that clip in. The way you'll connect.
Yeah.
Bring the clip in.
We're really going to make me watch through the whole episode just to find that.
It's timestamped. Okay. Unless Jimmy didn't do his job back then.
We're sitting down. And then I meet one of my Asian friends, yeah? I met an Asian brother called Nu'man. I'm going to say his name. I'm sorry to hurt you up. But amazing brother. Look, first time I ever met him, I've never seen this brother before. First night, this is the night I left the job, yeah? First night I met this guy. He said, Salaam alaikum, you're right. Alaikum salam, this is that. He sat down. I gave him a banana. Yeah, naturally, is this the Somali thing? I just went like that. Because we're having rice. And he was a bit... And I said, oh, my bad. I said, have you ever tried banana with rice? He was like, nah, I ain't ever tried it before, innit? So then now he's tried it now, and he's like, I respect it. Exactly what he said. He can relate to he can right now see this.
He said, I respect it.
He's gonna laugh. Exactly what he said. He said, I respect it.
Yeah, that would be me.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, so we met.
I love how everyone's connected.
Yeah, this is the thing, because I was born in Pakistan in a village. And then a few years later, obviously my dad was already here in the UK. He came here, then we moved to this house. And the way everything adds up, and the way that Suleiman was placed in the masjid that day, the way I was placed in the masjid that day, there's no way that it could have been written by anyone other than Allah. Like, it's just impossible. The way events happen in life to bring you into the same place. Because if I didn't have that dream that night, I probably, Allahu A'lam, if I would have entered Masjid Quba that day and met Ahmed as well, and then gone to Dar es Salaam, and then been in that. But anyways.
Ahmed, the Pakistani boy.
No, yeah.
The glasses. You
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
wow,
Ahmed.
everyone's really connected, huh?
Young Amir.
Yeah.
Little Ahmed.
He's,
Are you same age?
Little Ahmed.
Are you guys same age?
No, he's younger than me.
Okay, makes sense.
He's younger than me.
Because you were about to just
Yeah.
decrease in age of my eyes.
No.
I was like, little Ahmed.
Yeah, he's a few years younger than me.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that. Allah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allah.
Everyone's linked up in different ways.
Yeah, mashallah.
But me and him knew each other from when we were young.
Okay.
You mentioned, right?
From school and madrasa as well at the same time. We went to the same madrasa at the time. But I saw him. But yeah, so in Quba, Suleiman, he helped me find a Quran teacher. But then I was jumping Quran teachers. I was going from one place to another, because I didn't have the right makhraj, I didn't have the right tajweed. But no Quran teacher told me, let's start from the beginning. Let's go from qa'idah, let's start from alif ba ta, and then we'll work our way up. No one said that to me. Everyone was trying to do it from the mushaf. And as much as I loved reading from the mushaf, and I know there's a lot of reward in it as well for the one who starts and he doesn't get it correct, etc. But I wanted to be able to read it fluently and understand the different tajweed rules, and rather than just reading it for the sake of reading it, right? And then eventually we went to, this is where another brother who's been on here, Muhammad, the Riva brother.
Yeah.
Abu Elijah, I think his name is now.
Yeah.
I met him as well.
Mohammed Bonkers.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm sure he's dropped his nickname.
Everyone's
as well.
dropped it, but it's just so people can put a face to the name.
So even people were asking, like, Strides said don't call him Strides, but you put Strides in the titles because you wouldn't have known who you were talking about unless we put Strides there. But from now on, inshallah, it's Mahbub. As you probably noticed in the later episodes, whenever we referred to him, we
refer to him as Mahbub.
Previously,
so we say Muhammad Abu Elijah, previously known as Bonkers.
Yeah. So
Suleiman, previously known as Solo.
So this is going back to now 2020 summer. 2020 summer, right? We went to in South London.
This is the lockdown summer, right?
Yeah. We went to a barbecue. This was when lockdown eased a little bit. This is when
lockdown
lockdown eased a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not advocating.
No,
anyone.
down the street scandal.
No. This is when it was a little bit eased and you're allowed to go out and link up with the Mandem. One of the brothers, Etizaz, he organizes a barbecue every year. So we went down there, and my current Quran teacher, Ustad Isa, he was there. He studies in Medina, but he was back.
Isa Eritrean?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
Yes. So he was there. And I remember, because he led Tarawih in 2020 in Quba.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to him, and I was like, and he turns out he's friends with one of my friends, and he introduced us. And when I saw him there, and I grabbed him, and I was like, Ustad, I want to learn Quran from you.
Allahu Akbar.
And I was like, please, if you don't mind, do you mind teaching me? He goes, yeah, 100%.
MashaAllah. And he still teaches you now?
Still teaches me now.
Over Zoom, I'm assuming.
Now, yeah.
Allahumma
now
barik.
online. Yeah. We've had a bit of a break because of recent events, but we will be continuing, inshallah.
Amazing.
So this was back in August 2020, right? And around that time, this is when I came into MSG. And I'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
So he started teaching me. I would go get him from his house, bring him to my house, and he'd teach me. We started from the scratch, alif ba ta, and alhamdulillah, we made a lot of progress very quickly. And he's been a great inspiration for me as well. And may Allah reward him. Ameen. And so that was in August. And in September 2020, this is around the time I met Danielle and Nabil.
Okay.
At the same time period, yeah. Because we went with Ustad Yahya to Chaiwala in Southall. And I met Nabil. He spoke to me about Afia, and that's when all that started. And I met Danielle as well.
Afia being the name of his...
Moroccan Thobes.
Yeah.
As you heard in the last episode, AK Thobes. And you've probably heard about Libas as well. So.
Just to clarify and to do...
I have to remember that.
Just to do Nabil a favour, for those that are not Moroccan, Afia, it means fire in Moroccan. It means help everywhere else. So just helping you out, Nabil, since you decided to not change the name.
He actually mentioned that when he was deciding a name, he actually said that as well.
It's
quite
funny.
funny.
Because you that favour, I'm now calling upon your favour, which is you need to come to an episode of
Yeah, so I met Nabil there, and Danielle, he told me about MSG there first.
So just so people know, MSG is what?
Muslim Survival Guide.
Muslim Survival Guide. It's our 1-year Islamic Studies program on the Knowledge College, which if you're interested in, if you want some more information on it, we have got another one that just launched in September.
Yeah.
So there'll be a link in the description if you're interested, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so Daniel's mentioned MSG to me, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And then in September, somebody else told me about MSG, and I was like, it's the second time I've heard it now. So let me see what it's all about. And this was
So
a
people
week
actually
into
talking
it.
about it.
Yeah, people were talking about
So
it.
I was
People know about
when
it.
I hear
Yeah,
people talking about Sunrise, people talking about Mr. Swara guy, like, because we are just house studio, masjid house.
Yeah.
studios, we don't really see
Like,
it.
alhamdulillah, the people that are involved in it, they do mention it outside of like podcasts and in the masjid and stuff. Like people talk about, discuss it. So this was a week into MSG now. 1 week had already gone. I didn't start it, so I signed up to it and I joined. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, that's when I was learning different subjects: fiqh, aqidah, tawheed, and seerah. Those are the first 4 that we did, and from then the rest is history, really.
So let me ask you a question. In that 1 year, what we wanted to, what we promised to deliver was to teach people the absolute essentials of their religion. Do you
Yes.
feel like you learned that?
100%.
And let me ask another question, because a lot of people have been studying. Some people have been practicing for 10 years, and they've been attending classes for 10 years, here, there, whatnot, so on and so forth. In the 2-3 years that you're practicing prior, do you feel like you learned more in that 1 year than you did in the other 2?
100%. 100%.
That's good to hear, alhamdulillah.
La shak wala rayb.
That's what we wanted to
Yes.
do. We wanted to initially create a system that compacts the primary information in 1 year. People got busy lives. Not
Yeah.
everyone wants to be a student of knowledge, even though they should. Not everyone wants to be, but at least come and get the most essentials.
But I think with MSG and what the teachers that were on MSG, may Allah reward them. I mean, what they've managed to do is what they've like kind of instilled in us. Being a student of knowledge doesn't mean you have to do it 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For those who are like have families and they're working and they have responsibilities, you can spend an hour a day, an hour and a half a day, and still learn a lot. Because in this 1 year, that first 1 year of MSG, I learned more than I had since I was born. Put it that way. So, and because I tied in with when I was starting my Quran journey as well, like it all kind of just fit into pieces. The Arabic that was being said, it made sense, like the makhraj and tajweed, and I was understanding it a bit more. But that 1 year, I definitely learned a lot more than I have before that.
And just to mention it for any students that are on the Knowledge College program, one thing that, and I've mentioned this many times, is that we will teach you the program, but the Quran you have to go do elsewhere.
Yeah.
And the Quran is essential.
Mm-hmm.
And the Arabic language.
Yeah.
The Arabic and the Quran, we will teach you the subjects and the lessons, inshallah ta'ala, but the Quran and the Arabic, which are essential, you need to make sure you go do that. And I actually think that you may not have been able to perhaps benefit from it as much as you did had you not been doing the Quran as well. So that's very good.
Definitely, because I would have weekly lessons with Ustad Isa, right? And I would tell him, this is what I learned today, this is what I learned yesterday, this is what I learned the other day, and he would expand on it for me.
Amazing.
And he would give me a lot of benefits, which obviously he has because he's studied a lot more than I have.
Allah Akbar.
And so alhamdulillah, like in that sense, when you have someone you can actually speak to about it,
Amazing.
it's amazing. It's life-changing, put it that way.
Barakallah feek, man.
Yeah.
One last question I wanted to ask you is, you kind of touched on it already, but just to be a bit more direct as well, is what impact, if any, would you say the da'wah has had on your life when you look back? And obviously there are things that happen in your life that affect the decisions that you make and things like that. So the da'wah in general, which includes everything, knowledge college, just the brothers, us, the classes, so on and so forth. What kind of an impact on your development as a Muslim, in your development as a man, where you are today, would you say that it's had on your life?
I think since August 2020, since that time period, starting Quran and starting MSG, I've grown as a person and as a Muslim and as a man a lot more than I have previously. And I think that's very much down to the teachers that I was exposed to and the knowledge that they were teaching us as well. I think it's pretty important to say that MSG is what led me to Furqan in the first place, Masjid Furqan, because the teachers would mention there's a lesson going on here, there's a lesson going on there, and I'd come attend when the 99 Names of Allah started, and then you started the fiqh series then as well. That's when I started coming to Masjid Furqan, and that's when the face-to-face da'wah was affecting it. And I think, as everyone knows, face-to-face learning is by far it's a different level, because the rahmah and mercy inside the masjid is different. And the growth in that period has been what's the word? Substantial. Exponential, yeah. Well, I'll change it to substantial.
Substantial. Own it.
Yeah.
And you can this out if you don't want to be mentioned there, but you're
Yeah.
also along with doing Hijra soon as well, right?
Yes, inshallah, in 2 days. Or a day, actually a day and a half.
Tomorrow, Allah.
Tomorrow, yeah. I'll be
But
flying
the
out tomorrow,
conversation
inshallah.
That came about from a conversation that you guys had, is that true?
So, yeah.
Before we went to Umrah, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes back a little bit further than that. I was on my way to work because I currently work in London.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, it's an hour and a half commute, quite long. I was on the way to work and I was sent a video about Hijra, right?
One of Ustad's videos?
One of your videos.
Oh, one of mine.
One of your
Okay,
videos,
okay.
yeah, one of your videos. Then that led me to Ustad Rahman Hassan's video.
His
Yeah,
2
his one.
hour.
Yes, with Ustad Tim Humble.
Dude, Hijra now.
Yeah. So I watched your one, and I think it was you two speaking about doing
Yeah.
Hijra with your wife, and you spoke about different
that one,
topics.
Yes, the relationship goals one.
Yes.
Okay.
That we did.
Yeah.
We recorded that in Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching that, and I was listening to it, and I was like, I want to be in a Muslim country. And in general, I think I was mentioning to you the other day, I had a 3 to 5 year plan of being in a Muslim country,
Allah.
whether it's Saudi, Dubai, Pakistan, whichever Muslim country. I wanted to kind of get out from the UK, right? Very next day, I opened up LinkedIn. I don't really open up LinkedIn like that, but I just opened it randomly, and I saw a job ad for
Okay.
the same job I'm doing now, but in Dubai.
Okay.
And I was thinking to myself, I contemplated with myself for an hour and a half, like, should I just do it? Should I not do it? And I spoke to you the next day. And
Yeah.
I said, this is just before you're flying out for Umrah.
Yeah.
And
I
we
think
had
it
that
was
first
the
conversation.
day, right? Or
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the day before we flew out, or the day I was flying out.
The day before you flew out.
Okay.
Day before you flew out. And I was saying, and I explained to you, like, this job offer's come up. What do you think? And he said, yeah, 100% do it. So I went home. I applied. I think it was the next day. And then I got the job offer within a week and a half. Alhamdulillah. So now I'm, so I'm moving tomorrow, inshallah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when you do things for the sake of Allah, look how things
Yeah.
can happen. Because look, in the last 2-3 months, you got this job offer. You're
Yeah.
going there, Allah barik. You got married as well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Allah barik.
So, Sunnah match?
No, it wasn't.
no.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was of
But
something else.
MSG.
Wait, what?
Even I don't understand it.
Yeah. No, there's mutual friends involved. They know
MashaAllah.
each other. But yeah, MSG.
So was it like you liked one of the questions the sister answered? Thought to yourself, oh, let me try and.
Oh, you got married in the same class as you?
Yeah.
Wow. Allah barik. That is nuts.
Yeah. So alhamdulillah, the good thing is both studying.
Wow.
And the good thing is we're both studying under the same teachers as well. And I think that's very
same
important.
manhaj, same
Yeah.
same
Wow.
same madhab as
Yeah.
well, same fiqh, no fiqh issues.
That is a story to tell the kids in the future.
Yeah.
That's not even the grandkids at. Wow. Allah barik. That's nuts.
Alhamdulillah.
Allah
Alhamdulillah.
Listen, we might have to start a little knowledge match. Knowledge college
I think I've just given you a new idea.
yeah, why not? But wallahi, akhi, barakallah feek, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Jazakallah khairan.
Uh,
Jazakallah khair for having me.
Wallahi,
no,
It's
very
not a
grateful
problem
you're
at
here,
all.
man.
Alhamdulillah. And hope you guys benefit as well. And as always, because it's Ramadan, we try to keep these episodes as short as possible. And just to mention, one of the main reasons why we're doing this is to raise funds for our studio. Alhamdulillah, we've upgraded the set a little bit more today. That corner where Imran's sitting behind him, that's coloured in. It's like a bit behind us. We've got the relationship goal set, that's coloured in as well. Alhamdulillah.
Obviously, it's not the full
cleaner.
set, but it's going
It's
to be
not
the
the full
set.
set. As in the basics, the foundations are being there. So if you would like to help contribute towards the return of all of these shows, then you can please, inshallah, donate at the link below. It's a GoFundMe link. It's very important. That helps with our day-to-day running costs. And that's very, very important, even more so than the equipment. Alhamdulillah, we've had a lot of people going on the Amazon wish list and buying, the microphone and specific bits and bobs. That was amazing, alhamdulillah. It's really helped, as you can see. I've got my own mic now, and I have a shock mount, so it's not too vibrating. That's not even a word, I just made that up.
Vibrating.
But alhamdulillah, the GoFundMe link really, really helps. And don't forget, also, we're fundraising with Humanity Care Relief for poor Muslims all around the world. So that link is also in the description. And as we mentioned, the Muslim Survival Guide program has also been launched. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about your religion, you're not quite content with how much you know about the religion, and you want to learn more of the basic foundations, live classes, 4 days a week, 1 hour, very simple, then click the link in the description. Also, we'll see you there
I think,
on the next episode.
sorry, just before you cut it off, I think it'd be a good idea to mention as well that 1 year MSG course is not the end of it, because you get exposed to teachers, and those teachers will tell you when they're teaching in certain masajid, and then you end up going there, you meet up with other brothers, and they tell you about this, and this, and this. You get exposed to a wide range of things. So it's literally just the beginning of your journey.
Inshallah.
So,
Jazakallah khair, man.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feek.
But yeah, see you guys on the next episode.
Also, if they want to come to Umrah, tell them to call the fast number.
Umrah 5-star Umrah 07852 541 249. On that note, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace.